Hello, children. Today we will see the poem The Way Through the Woods, written by Rudyard Kipling. So let's talk about the poet Rudyard Kipling. Now, his full name is Joseph Rudyard Kipling, and he was born on 30th December 1865 till 18 January 1936. He was an English journalist, short story writer, poet, novelist, and he was born in India, which inspired much of his work. He has been very close to the nature, that is the forest and the jungles, and he's also written works of fiction, including The Jungle Book, Kim, and many other short stories, which includes The Man Who Would Be King. The Way Through the Woods is a poem which is a part of the poet's collection of short stories, that is Rewards and Fairies. Each story in this collection was followed by a poem. This poem is well known for supernatural elements, active lifestyle. Also, the poem unfolds the past memories of little things that are missed by the poet, presented in flashback technique to the reader. The poem also reveals Rudyard Kipling's love for nature, his style of writing about nature, and his relationship with the nature. Now, like his other poems, The Way Through the Woods also carries powerful lessons for us. The poem primarily talks about the relationship between human being and nature, and it was nature that first started to influence living beings on the face of the earth. However, after human achieved a certain level of intellect, they also started altering nature for their own motives. Okay, for example, deforestation, where the woods were cut and used. So, Kipling basically paints the same conflict between man and nature in this poem. Let's read the poem and it would be followed with the explanation. They shut the road through the woods 70 years ago. Weather and rain have undone it again, and now you would never know. There was once a road through the woods. Before they planted the trees, it is underneath the coppice and heath and the thin anemones. Only the keeper sees that where the ringdove broods and the badgers roll at ease, there was once a road through the woods. Children, now the poem begins with the speaker stating that one particular road was shut 70 years ago. Now, this first line is spoken as if the reader already has prior knowledge of the road. All the 70 years have passed since anyone was able to traverse this path, that is, travel this path. The speaker remembers it well. So he says that, there was a road through the woods which was closed 70 years ago, and the road was left undisturbed. And for many years, the weather and the rain have destroyed the road. The place was looking as if it was before formation of that road. So it was back to its original position. But now no one could tell if there was even a road through the woods or not. It is because the road has disappeared beneath the bushes and shrubs of different kinds of plants. So there are different kinds of plants which have outgrown, and there is a growth of natural vegetation, and a lot of trees and plants and shrubs, anemones have grown, and it is hidden from the human eyes. Okay, after the road was closed, trees were planted. Now those trees have grown up now, and that road has become the part of the wood itself, so that it is, which means it has been hidden. Now nobody can actually see where or understand if there is a road or not. And only the poet knows about this is because the poet had visited this before and now he's revisiting. However, now the road, which is not seen and which is not a part of the wood itself, is full of activity and life, which means it is, occupied by the ring dove that broods there and the burrowing badger which rolls in it playfully. So now, if anyone goes and visits these woods in the late summer evening, he or she will come to know that there is more to the road. So here he's just telling us that this road is unattended, there's no human presence, and only the nature is surrounding the road. That is, he mentions about these ring doves, he mentions about this burrowing badgers, and the trees and the shrubs that are growing there. Okay. Let's read the next lines in the poem. Yet, if you enter the woods of a summer evening late, when the night air cools on the trout ring pools, where the otter whistles his mate, they fear not men in the woods because they see so few. You will hear the beat of a horse's feet and the swish of a skirt in the dew, steadily cantering through the misty solitudes as though they perfectly knew the old lost road through the woods, but there is no road through the woods. So, in these lines, the poet mentions that the nights are usually cool. The air is cool, and above the pools that are full of trout fish. And the otter calls out to its mate, that is its partner. These creatures do not fear human presence because they've seen very few people enter the woods, and one could hear the trampling of a horse's feet when the horse isn't physically present. So here he is mentioning about some supernatural elements, okay, perhaps a ghostly thing. That is, it is a ghost from the past when the road was used by men on the horseback, and one could hear the swish of skirts moving amongst dew-covered grasses. So this is basically the supernatural element that he's mentioning, which does not exist actually. Now, from these sounds, one could tell the difference that these people moved in easy walk as if they perfectly knew where the road lay, and when a living person wouldn't be able to distinguish it because it is no longer the road that was there 70 years back. The poet still feels that there is surely no road through the woods. So here he's mentioning that it's a supernatural element, and uh, now the people cannot hear it now because this road is not unattended. There's no one who has come to the forest, and these were the sounds which were there previously. So he speaks about a lot about the nature and the road that was unattended and has shut down 70 years back. Now let us look at some poetic devices that the poet has mentioned in the poem. Repetition. Repetition is a literary device in which a word or phrase is repeated two or more times. So the line, "There was once a road through the woods," has been repeated. Alliteration, as you know, alliteration is a literary device in which the same sound repeats in a group of words. The way through the words where the otter whistles his mate, these are, repeated. The were sound, okay, the were sound has been repeated. Now, talking about the imagery in the poem, can be defined as writer or speaker's use of words to create a vivid mental picture or physical sensation. So, there is an image created, there's a vivid mental picture created and we'll just see the examples in where exactly he has created this in the poem. The poet describes the road being shut down and vegetation growth all over. So the road being shut down as if a shop is being shut down, okay? So or the road, the door has been shut down. So similarly, so he's creating a picture that a road is actually shut down. The keepers of the forest are introduced as mysterious characters. Now he's just mentioning the keepers can see the doves and all that, but then they are not specifically mentioned. They are mysterious characters. They are just mentioned there, and we don't know who they are. Basically, are they the people who actually guard the forest, or they are the people living in the forest? We do not know. The hearing of horse's feet and swish of a rider's skirt tells us about the supernatural elements present in the poem. So he's mentioning this as supernatural elements, which is creating a lot of interest for the readers. Now here there's a rhyming scheme mentioned. It can be defined as a writer or speaker's use of words to the poem, and it consists of 25 lines and two stanzas with rhyming scheme A B C B A D D D D E D A and F A F G F A H I H H H H A A. So also the line 15, cools and pools, line 19, beat and feet are rhyming in the poem. He also uses contrast as poetic device. So there is a contrast here between the way that humans have worked on the land, abandoned it, and then worked it again, and the way nature is trying to take it back. So, for example, when he says the misty solitudes, so a lonely road which is unattended and full of fog, cold, like that. It is underneath the coppice and heath and the thin anemones. Now, these above lines shows that before the road was shut down, and now after 70 years there is a overgrowth of vegetation, and the road is hidden under this. Um, Copies and heath that he has mentioned.